Dickinson gives an individual an opportunity to see himself in the world.
She has had opportunities here that she couldn't have had anywhere else.
She's so confident, and I think Dickinson did that for her.
When you were on your way back home from dropping your son or daughter off at Dickinson, you can feel comfortable with your decision.
Marissa now cares about everywhere in the world. Like, she'll call me and say, did you see this on the news? Did you watch this, Mom? And it strikes me sometimes like 21-year-old, 22-year-old interested in world affairs.
Dickinson brings in students from all over the world. So you may have someone who's from China, who's from England, who's from Germany, in your classes with you. And you learn their lifestyles, their experiences. You are exposed to all of that.
Randall arranged a trip on his own, and he developed this international perspective, okay? And that's something that I had not seen prior to his coming to Dickinson.
When he came to college, he said, I could see myself staying, on campus junior year. And that changed radically. And he ended up spending 4.5 months in Australia, 12,000 miles from his comfort zone.
She's just gotten to know a variety of different people and, their points of view. She feels very comfortable and ready to take on the world, and she feels like, whatever she decides to do next, she will be able to do.
I think the biggest change is that during the time that she's here, she's gone from someone who was one of the most risk-averse people you will ever have met in your life to someone who is now willing to take intellectual risks.
She's like fearless. She will take on anything. She can manage any challenge that she's given.
The community allowed him the confidence to take the risk. And if he had fallen, if he'd fallen, he'd go find something else.
He's saying, we are engaging the world. It was not just words. They actually were trying to. So I think Jean-Paul particularly loved that.
Here's my son now. He could see beyond the domestic, borders of the Atlantic and the Pacific. He's looking at England. He wanted to go to England, and he did it. Okay, and we were just tremendously proud because that was a big step.
Every part, no matter how minute it seemed here at the school, in my mind, she got value from. And she used it and implemented everything she's learned here.
He wants to get into education, the field of education. But he doesn't want to do it just at the level of being a principal. Policy making, that's his level, in government, somewhere, so that he's setting policy.
She did a research project with Professor Barber. That drug that they tested will be a significant finding to help patients with memory loss.
And because he was really concerned about the issues that they were dealing with, organized a whole lecture series that involved bringing in speakers from various parts of the U.S.
Sarah was selected for an internship with Todd Ronsky in the theater department. She had an opportunity to work with a faculty member very closely, to work with faculty members and actors in the UK where they did the production, and then to be the stage manager for the shows when it was being produced in Edinburgh. It was just an eye-opening experience for her.
She reminded me of a leader of a corporation, how she was just delegating, her authority, and you do this, and yet she wasn't talking down to people. I was noticing that, like, oh my gosh, she just makes everybody feel that they're the most important person to her.
She's not as quick to make judgments. She analyzes the information and then makes her choices.
Even within our family, he has been able to facilitate coming to new positions when there were differences in opinion.
She found her voice. She found that people really took notice to her and that she could make a difference.
Dickinson also has made Sarah much more aware of environmental issues.
The best example of that is probably the play that she produced, wrote, and directed along with her cast.
The play addresses issues of sustainability, which Dickinson has been addressing on campus for years, and global warming.
Mr. Tenere, we are concerned because we do not know whether or not your child will pick up some of your more environmentally ignorant habits.
From time to time you surf, and I put in Randall's name, and a picture comes up of him cleaning up, you know, and doing things for the environment. And it made me pleased that he was aware of pollution, okay, and what it means to society.
You grow, you learn, you give back to the community here, and you take that home with you.
Sarah's sad she's graduating because she's going to miss everyone, but we're sad too. We're going to miss coming here.
She's far surpassed everything that I could even imagine.
Something to be able to say that your child graduated from Dickinson College.
She's telling the freshmen and the sophomores, you're so lucky that you have another couple of years.
He knows now that he can chart where he wants to go in the world.
He was looking for Dickinson, even before Dickinson crossed his radar.
It's not just academics, it's an education.
I think it's hard to pick out specific things that have happened here that have fostered those qualities. I think it's the entire experience that fosters them. And it goes back to the issue of an institution with a vision of what it is and what it wants to do for its students, and then acting upon that vision day in, day out, and thereby creating that product of a student who embodies those qualities by the time that they graduate. And it's not the kind of thing that you can say, well, on this day this happened and that contributed to it. It's something that comes from the ethos of the institution.